Storm Aoin arrives tomorrow. At the moment, there are weather warnings in force across the whole of the UK, a red warning across the Republic of Ireland, and that is likely to be escalated to red across the UK too, with wind gusts of over 100 miles an hour, bringing the risk to life.
Worse.
Yeah, in ramping up, and it's sort of one of these ones in our science books that we learn about. So an area of low pressure deepens really rapidly, picked up by the jet stream, but we could have this thing called a sting jet, and it's when you get very strong winds from the atmosphere above us, from the stratosphere, coming all the way down to the surface, and it now looks like, from the analysis now it's developing, that's what the Met Office forecasters have seen. That's why it looks like we're now going to escalate it to red later on this morning. So don't be surprised if you hear red warnings being issued, maybe even in our airtime, but for now it's Northern Ireland, southwest Scotland and northwestern parts of England, this time tomorrow morning, that could be under these rare red warnings.
OK. And today?
Windy, here's the details. So, yes, we actually already have weather warnings in force for today because it's set to be very windy across Wales and southwestern and southern areas of England. Dry to start this morning before it turns wet. So this is the calm scene first thing this morning. Dry conditions for central and eastern areas, already turning cloudy and wet through western areas. This band of rain moves in. Winds start to pick up through Wales and southern areas of England. So if it is dry where you are this morning, it will rain by late morning, early afternoon. So make sure you leave the house with an umbrella or a raincoat because you will definitely need it. Brightening up across southwestern areas later, but a blustery afternoon with heavy showers coming through. This evening and overnight tonight, the winds ease briefly. The sky is clear briefly, but then here comes our storm. So this is Storm Aoin, named because it's set to cause widespread disruption. Warnings right across the UK for winds of up to 50 or 60 miles an hour. We could see 70 to 80 miles an hour widely through this northern zone and maybe up to 100 miles an hour through Northern Ireland, northwest England and southwest Scotland. And it's basically from 9 o'clock tomorrow morning until around about 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, the strongest winds on the southern side of this low. It is very likely that travel will be cancelled. These ferry services, plane services, train services, driving on roads will be very difficult. And adding into that, north of here, snow. Blizzard conditions across these northern areas of Scotland, not just higher routes, even down to lower levels. So, yes, as we head through the next 24 hours, watching very closely Storm Aoin arriving with winds of over 100 miles an hour. Good morning to you. Storm Aoin is developing as we speak out in the Atlantic. Not too much at the moment, but as it rapidly deepens in the next 24 hours, undergoing what we call explosive cyclogenesis, driven by a very strong jet stream. It means that the wet and windy weather arrives very quickly, and these isobars here very close together shows how windy it is set to be. I want to show you the current weather warnings we have in force across the UK and across the Republic of Ireland. So the whole of the UK covered by wind warnings, gusts widely of 50 to 60 miles an hour, an amber area through southern Scotland, northern England, Northern Ireland, North Wales of 70 to 80, maybe 90 miles an hour. And across the Republic of Ireland, they have a rare red wind warning in force. Now, I've spoken to the Met Office and it looks likely that we'll be escalating our amber warnings to red across Northern Ireland, southwest Scotland, northwest England, with up to 100-mile-an-hour gusts of wind tomorrow. That means there's likely to be school closures, trees down, huge waves around the coast. Advised to stay away from those. Lots of structural damage, widespread travel disruption and cancellations. And just to put into context how windy and how powerful the storm is set to be, if we go back to my other graphics, I've spoken to a colleague at Met Aoin, and the strongest gust of wind they've ever had across the Republic of Ireland is 113 miles an hour, and it is likely that that will be broken tomorrow. So this is set to be a very major storm. Back to today's weather. For now, it's the calm before that storm. It's dry, it's bright for many of us, but turning pretty windy later on today. So as we head through the day, a band of rain marches its way eastwards. So dry to start, turning wet and windy by this afternoon, and then turning dry with blustery showers from the west later. Normally, I'd be heading over to the wall now to show you what's going to be happening, but here's what it looks like tomorrow morning. The detail of the storm arriving. It's through Northern Ireland, northwest England and southern Scotland. We have our most powerful winds arriving for rush hour tomorrow morning and lasting all day long. Storm Aoin developing in the Atlantic as we speak, arriving across the UK tomorrow. We have widespread warnings across the UK, a red one across the Republic of Ireland, and it's likely we could escalate ours in the UK to red. What does that mean? School closures, widespread travel disruption and power outages. Well, today is a bright, breezy day, but it's tomorrow we see Storm Aoin arriving. It's in the Atlantic at the moment, and it is set to rapidly deepen in the next 24 hours. These are the weather warnings we have in force at the moment. This is for tomorrow. Widespread wind warnings across the UK of 50 to 60 miles an hour. This amber area, we're looking at 80 to 90 miles an hour. But worth pointing out, this red area, a rare red warning, that means danger to life across the Republic of Ireland, where they potentially could have the strongest gust of wind they have ever recorded. And the UK Met Office may escalate ours to red later on this morning, with wind gusts also of 100 miles an hour. That will be, again, the risk of danger to life. But back to today, the calm before the storm. It's a fine, dry start first thing this morning, but a weather front in the west quickly moves across the country. So by this afternoon, we'll have all seen something in the way of wet weather and some gusty winds as this moves its way through. Brighter, breezy conditions follow on behind with highs of 8 or 9 degrees. But it's this band of rain that arrives overnight tonight, Storm Aoin, causing widespread disruption tomorrow. Good morning to you. Storm Aoin arrives tomorrow. We'll be hearing a lot about that in the forecast. I'll come back to it in a minute, but let's get to today's weather first. It's actually a dry, bright start, but then it turns wet and windy. And there's this band of rain that's in the west at the moment, marches right across the country, so making up to dry weather. It won't last. You'll have rain later. We see those winds picking up across southern and western coast to 50 or 60 miles an hour. But it will get significantly stronger tonight into tomorrow. So this is how it looks first thing tomorrow morning. The first signs of Storm Aoin arriving across the northwest. A wet start for all of us, a windy start as well. Widespread warnings of 50 to 60 mile an hour gusts. But it's through Northern Ireland, southwest Scotland and northwest England. This zone here from, say, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning until 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, we can see wind gusts of up to 100 miles an hour. An amber warning in force at the moment. It is likely to be escalated to red, and that means danger to life and widespread travel disruption.